This is Taylor Creek. This creek runs from the surrounding mountains around Lake Tahoe into Lake Tahoe. This is mid-October. Today's actually October 19th, or is it the 18th? Is today the 18th or 19th? 18th or 19th. I'll confirm later. So October is what's known as a shoulder season at Lake Tahoe. It's too late, it's too chilly to do lake events, too chilly to go swimming or parasailing or boating and that kind of thing. But of course it's too early for skiing, so not a lot of tourists up here. But for the folks in the know, this is the place to come, because you can't quite see it in the video probably from here, but that creek is full of Kokanee salmon, small lake salmon. And just like all salmon, they come upstream from the big body of water, the big Lake Tahoe, to spawn every year. I'm not sure if lake salmon follow the same 5-year lifespan that sea salmon, ocean salmon do. So I don't know if these salmon are all 5 years. I don't think so. I think it's a 2-year cycle. If you want to look up Kokanee salmon and find out for yourself. But the folks over there on the bridge have the best view of a mass of deep red fish, and we're going to go over there and give you a look at that too. Just wanted to give you a shot of how popular this site is. It is a Saturday after all, and like I say, this is really about the only tourist activity that goes on in mid-October. A lot of people don't even know about this place, but people who do know that this is the place to come in mid-October. I'm showing you the upstream there. That's the road, Highway 89 right there. A lot of people just park their cars and hike in from there. But the better place, I'll show you this beautiful trail that goes through the aspens. So that's another thing. You get to look at the changing colors of the aspens. But the big attraction is over here. All these Kokanee salmon, the males in particular, turn a deep red and their jaw juts out. I guess the females think that looks pretty hot, because it's supposed to give the males be an attraction for mating purposes. But anyway, okay, so we're going to go over to that bridge here in a moment and to give you a look at what all those people are looking at. We're now on the bridge. You can see here's the railing of the bridge, and a bunch of folks up here, and somebody brought their St. Bernard. This is October. The movie Cujo was on last night, so oh my gosh, it's Cujo. That was a joke. Hope you can see in the water there, teeming, hundreds and hundreds. So it looks like it looks like a street in Hong Kong for these salmon, these lake salmon, Kokanee salmon. And they are actually, this is kind of light. Apparently we missed it. This is the season, or the period to observe these fish is quite short. And apparently last week was the time to see the really deep, because sometimes they're just packed in so tightly you wonder how they even manage to swim. There's so many of them. These deep red fish, and in particular the males are very spectacular. Their jaws, lower jaw jets out, and makes it, and I'm trying to, well, in the video it'd be pretty difficult to point one out, but if you're just looking at these fish, the ones with the jutting jaw are the males. So that's the attraction why people come up here to Taylor Creek in mid-October. Jump! Did you see that jump? Hey, there's another jump. That fella's saw a hot chick he wants to go chase, I guess. Alright, so we're going to come around to another portion of the creek that's another popular area. I'll show you on the other side of the bridge. This portion of the creek leads back, and there's a what they call the profile chamber. They've dug down so that you can actually look into the side and into the creek through a large plexiglass and observe the fish as they're swimming by. But we missed that. It closes at 4, darn it. It should close at 5. Alright, on we go to the next stop. Now we're a little further downstream from where that bridge was. You can see plenty of ducks are in the water. I'll explain that in a second, but take a look at this. Now you can really see quite the traffic jam of salmon. The creek is just thick with all these red fish. And this extends for about 2 miles. About 2 miles of the creek looks like this, with all these salmon swimming upstream. And what I was about to say about the duck, here's a duck right here who is taking a look at the creek bottom. These ducks are not trying to catch fish. They're waiting for the salmon to lay their eggs. And then they feast on those delicious eggs, which you may think is, golly, well, how the heck do the salmon ever reproduce? Well, each female lays thousands of eggs, and the ratio, scientists estimate about 3 to 5 of 1,000 survive. So since they lay several thousand, you can see with all these thousands and thousands of fish, that would be millions and millions of eggs. So they manage to reproduce just fine. So the ducks are not feeding on the fish, they're feeding on the eggs. What does feed on the fish are bears. And back here in the woods, every now and then when there's not a lot of people around, bears come down from those woods and will get into the creek and just have themselves a merry old time. It's a regular salmon cornucopia or buffet, but also eagles. There are eagles. Somebody pointed it out to me where there's a tree around here somewhere that where 2 eagles are known to have a nest. I think eagles are it's a couple, it's a pair, and they will fly down here every now and then. I've never seen them, but there are people who have, and so that's what eats the fish. The bears and the eagles will not. You might be able to see over there on the far side of the creek some pale bodies, carcasses. Once they spawn, of course, they die, and so there are a lot of dead fish. This creek actually smells horrible a little later in the season, but until they all wash away. But the bears and eagles will not eat dead fish. They only will catch them live. So here's a good look at just how much all of those guys were in the lake just a few days ago. We just noticed this kind of remarkable right here by the edge of the water. Gives you a close look at the cycle of life. Here's one of these salmon that has spawned, and within hours after spawning, they die. Whatever it is in their mechanism. So this one isn't swimming. It's not even trying. It's actually, you can already see how its fins are turning gray. It's just the circulation getting to the fins, and there's a ready to spawn one right next to it. You can see the color in its fins. And there's a male right next to a female. I'm giving you too much information, but anyway, I just thought this was remarkable. Look where I'm standing. Here are my feet on the edge of the water, and other salmon will swim away when something steps this close. Obviously, they think it might be a bear or whatever. So there's my feet, and there it is. That's a salmon that has spawned, is giving up the ghost, says, okay, that's what I came here to do, so I'm checking out. As you can look out here into the water, like I mentioned earlier, it would be difficult to point them out, but try to look. You can see the fish with the really jutting out jaws, the large heads, those are the males, and the ones that have less color, more of a brownish color, those are the females. So the deep red salmon with the jutting jaws are the males, and then the rather plain. Now there's one. I'll try to isolate it. Here's a female swimming by. That's a female right there. But the really red, the deep red, blood red, with the big jutting jaws, those are the males. So this is like the singles bar. They're all looking for who they're going to mate with, and once they have, you can see over here, say, okay, that's it, and they check out.